doors maybe unclosed. Goes for Skits, and what a shot! Oh my goodness! Forged with the take on this one, sending it straight in the goals to try and come up from behind them. Passing plays. What is this guy? I don't think he's going to get any points here, but who knows? He will. He will find him. Joycey put in some pressure and takes the shot. Skits goes short side and it glances off the forehead there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the Oceanic Slapshot League. Here tonight we have an amazing grand final between the Sydney Gafs and the Melbourne Marshys here in Pro League. I'm supposed to be joined by Cooper, but it doesn't look like that he's around at the moment, so we should be seeing and or hearing from him later in the evening. So we've got a very, very big grand final here to nearly wrap up the Pro League. We've got one more game, I believe, coming up tomorrow night, unless it's been pushed back. But, you know, should be a very, very fun game to watch here tonight between these two teams. Now, let's go ahead and dive straight in to the lineups here. Starting off with the Sydney Gafs with Zemix, Ended, Levy, and Nikki. However, I don't think we'll be seeing much from Nikki, to be honest. I don't think she's played any games so far this season. But, you know, Zemix, Ended, Levy, a classic lineup between those three right there. They've been playing for many, many seasons, and they have shown a lot of promise and team composition between them. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the challenges here. By the way, the Sydney Gafs were first on the ladder throughout the whole season, but Melbourne Marshys trailing close behind in second place with Boppy, Joycey, Such Is Life, The Player, and Turg Ulu. Now, this team has a hell of a lot of talent when it comes to the offensive play style, especially considering, you know, the amount of sheer individual skills that are present on this team. In Boppy, you know, evolving very rapidly from when he joined a few seasons ago into just an absolute offensive masterclass that rivals the likes of Chim. You've got Joycey, you've got Such As Life and Turg. There's a lot of potential link-ups in this team, especially with Turg potentially playing a lot of back. You know, I've been seeing a combination between Boppy and Turg. The passes between those two, they can go pretty goddamn crazy. We'll go ahead and move over to the desk really quickly. I'm seeing in chat, looks like some people are definitely in support of the Melbourne Marshys here. So we'll be very interested to see how that goes. Actually, we'll go ahead and flip over to the ladder really quickly because it's pretty interesting. Sydney Gafs with only one, not even a loss, 0 losses throughout the entire season here. Just the wins, 11 games won with 1 OT wins. So yeah, very interesting. Oh, I'm getting a call from Cooper, so let me go ahead and arrange that really quickly. I'll let him know to join in this to general, and I'll drag him into this stream VC. So just let me go ahead and organize that really quickly. So that way he appears on stream for everyone to see this glorious man. Hopefully he can hop in pretty soon. But yep, either way, there's going to be a pretty big matchup between these two teams here. Specifically, oh, Cooper's joined all on his own. Welcome, lad. How are we going?
Wait, are we on stream right now?
Yeah, we're on stream right now. We're on stream. Put on the filter, brother.
I'm going to message you. I'll be back.
Okay. Easy stuff. So, yeah, Cooper, I think that he's just on his way. Beautiful stuff we've heard from him. You know, we'll see what's going on with him in just a bit. But, yeah, as I was saying before, Sydney Gafs and Melbourne Marshys, the Gafs have a lot of rotational experience. They've done really, really well this season, placed first, haven't lost any games at all. But just in general, very, very strong performance coming out from them. A lot of masterclass, a lot of class in terms of the offense and the defense. But it's going up against the Melbourne Marshys. I mean, they've got a lot of potential in them. There's a hell of a lot. We'll go ahead and take a look at some of the other interesting things while we wait for the lobby or Cooper to get home. He's just driving home, apparently. So, you know, wasn't really expecting to be a little bit later. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll move on to the matchup here between the Sydney Gafs and the Melbourne Marshys. Now, while the stats do look like they're swaying in favor of Melbourne Marshys here, you can see that the passes are just about equal. You know, both reaching about 400 and 490. I'm not sure. The stream is a little bit small on my monitor here. Oh no, not 480. Both teams are reaching over 900. My apologies. So very, very fascinating stuff there. A lot of passes between these guys really shows that the team comps work. Other than that, though, the Melbourne Marshys lead in pretty much every other area, yet the Sydney Gafs still on the top of the leaderboard. So very, very interesting stuff. Just take a look at the chat now, and I'm just seeing all the praise come out. Yeah, so we're looking for a very, very good game coming up here pretty soon. While we wait for the lobby and for everything else, actually, let me see if I can really quickly hook us up with the polls once again, because it's been a little while since we've done one of those. Now, last time I kind of butchered it and forgot to actually enable it, but this time around, I think that I can go ahead and just start it up. Let me go ahead and pull up the polls window over here. But yeah, other than that, I think that we're going to see a game that's very competitive. I don't think that there's too much difference in their play styles. Melbourne Marshys will have a pretty strong rotation with Boppy, Turg, and you know what? Let's go ahead and take another look at their teams. Boppy, Joycey, Such Is Life, and Turg. So that's a very strong starting three there. I'm assuming Boppy, Joycey, and Turg will be playing. But to go up against Ended, Levy, and Zemix is very, very difficult. It's a high ask for basically any team, right? It's going to be a struggle, but we'll go ahead and whip up that poll now. It's signed into the wrong account. That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Okay. Launch. Let me just go ahead and start it up for us in one moment. I'm like clambering things together while I'm waiting for Cooper to get on home. But, you know, 5 minutes out, we'll see. Oh, you forgot Marshy's fifth player? There's a fifth player for Marshy? Let's see here. I can very much be swayed in that direction. Do they have a fifth player? It's not even on the Slapshot stat sheet. It's just Joycey, Turg, Boppy, Such Is Life. Forge, yeah, it's me. Fair enough. Okay, now I believe I can go ahead and get these polls working now. Who do we think is going to win between the Sydney Gafs and the Melbourne Marshys? Let me go ahead and add them as options and start that poll up, ladies and gents. I believe that we should be able to just go ahead and type in the commands in the chat just there. Sydney Gafs or Melbourne Marshys. Type in those votes and we'll see who comes out on top here. That is a little bit too low, the voting thing. Let me go ahead and move up the vote just a little bit. There we go. That's a bit better. Now we can all see. Melbourne Marshys with 2 votes here already right off the bat. There's a lot of love coming in for the Melbourne Marshys, but Sydney Gafs, in my personal opinion, from how I've taken a look at some of the stats and whatnot on the ladder, they are a very strong, very, very strong team, and it's going to be a bit difficult for the Marshys to come out on top here. Very much the underdogs in my mind. 50-50, what on earth? Okay. Looks like that the poll is very even at the moment. Half of you all are voting for Marsh. Oh, no, it is swinging. It is swinging. Everyone's going for Marshys now. 7 votes to 2. Jeez, okay. Okay, very interesting. People want the underdog story. Let me go ahead and use some of the lovely stats that Palfa has also secured for us here tonight. Sydney Gafs with a very high rating of 89. Melbourne Marshys with a rating of 90. Very, very interesting. That's the difference between goals scored per friendly possession and goals against per... Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So that's kind of goal differential. That's close to goal differential. That's close. But in general, Melbourne Marshys scoring more, slightly higher shot percentage, a few more passes and touches on average, and all around, in terms of stats, Melbourne Marshys are in the lead above Sydney Gafs, but the teamwork is going to be a very, very big deciding factor here. Because, Sydney Gafs, classic squad. Absolutely classic squad. They've been together since, I don't even know. Must have been like really early days of Slapshot, season 4 or something. I'm not too sure. I'd love to see if someone can go ahead and pop that in chat as a little bit of trivia. See when they were out and about in Slapshot. Mudley, they've been together since they were kids. It goes beyond Slapshot. Oh yeah, of course. In real life, these guys clearly know one another. But in terms of Slapshot days, in this competitive scene here, I'm just wondering how far back that lineup goes. The Ended, Zemix, and Levy trio. Very, very classic. Either way, I'm looking forward to seeing a very crucial question being answered tonight. What's more important, the team comp and experience with one another, or individual talent? Because Melbourne Marshys have a hell of a lot of that with their lineup. I mean, Boppy and Turg, probably very, very high quality offensive players. Very, very high quality. Both of them can play forward. Turg can rotate back. Boppy can rotate back. Joycey is very good at covering. He's really, really good as a link player. It's just all very, very rotational based for them. They can cover for a lot of different positions, a lot of different ideas. Meanwhile, Sydney Gafs, they're going to be a little bit more locked into their roles. Levy, Ended, and Zemix. Zemix and Ended being forward, Levy being back. They're pretty stock standard with their rotations, but that's just how they roll. That's how they go. And the amount of time that they've spent together as teammates really backs them up with that. They don't need to cover for one another. Well, I mean, they do need to cover for one another, to be fair. But at the same time, they're very, very well used to how each other play. They can read each other like books. And honestly, I'm expecting that to be a pretty key difference.
Hello. Sorry, I was sprinting.
No worries, Chief.
Sincerely apologize.
No worries, Chief. No worries. I think I informed you a little bit late that I was planning on starting at 7:45, but it is what it is. You're here now. Welcome to the stream, mate. Welcome to the stream.
Thank you. I have been looking forward to this moment for a while now, especially with the grand final. This is going to be a crazy match tonight. Two very close teams, so it's going to be good.
Yeah. First and second on the pro ladder as well. So
exactly.
It's going to be a tight one. It's going to be very, very tight. I've already talked a little bit about how Sydney Gafs have just been together since essentially forever in terms of Slapshot. And Melbourne Marshys are a little bit more recent with some of their lineups. But is there anything that you think is going to be crucial for Melbourne Marshys or Sydney Gafs to take this one home here?
Honestly, my main opinions on this, I feel like the chemistry is definitely a lot more there with Sydney Gafs, because they have been playing together for so long now, with season in, season out. But I feel like their passing plays and their team plays just as a whole is a lot more better than Melbourne Marshys, because I feel like Melbourne Marshys have their star players and their solo players, and obviously they have a lot of talent there as well. But I feel like it's going to be close with team plays, solo plays, and who's going to come up front and take it away. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be a very, very tight game, so it's going to be interesting to see what the result's going to be.
Yeah. Speaking of results, I believe that the poll has wrapped up. Let me go ahead and see what the viewers thought. Melbourne Marshys with 7 votes, Sydney Gafs with 5 votes, so still a pretty close poll. Plenty of votes going in on this one, but Melbourne Marshys is the crowd favorite here tonight. So, very, very cool stuff. I 100% agree with you completely on the difference between chemistry, team plays, solo plays, and whatnot. 100%. But there has been some pretty banging plays coming out between Turgulu and Boppy. Those two players right there that I've seen, I think, last season. I don't think I've covered any of their games this season, but they've linked up really, really well for a relatively new duo between the two of them. And I feel like Joyce is just the man to slap in as a third, can get a lot of assists, a lot of saves, and just really helps out their rotations. So looking very much forward to seeing that.
I feel like also with these teams, they have set attackers, set defenders, for example, like Joycey, Levy, definitely back players. So we actually have some really, really good matchups, seeing which one is better and which one's going to take home the win. And especially with Ended and Levy. No, sorry, Ended and Zemix. They have their partnership as well as Boppy and Turg. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they play it out today.
Yeah. I believe that we have a lobby coming up very soon.
Yes.
2 minutes over, but, pubs, training and customs, People can get delayed a little bit. Sprinting home.
Yeah, Cooper sprinting home, but that's no big deal.
Yeah, exactly. So, hopefully we'll get that password coming in soon and see exactly how this one unfolds. For Melbourne Marshys, who do you think is going to be playing back a lot? I've noticed that Turg definitely seems to be sticking more towards the goals and towards the nets, taking control of the field from there. But Joycey also can handle himself decently well, so I can feel like can swap in and out, when need be. Yeah,
I feel like Joycey seems like he's very, out of their whole team, he's like a very, very solid player in defense. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't play tricky with it at all. He's a very simple, fundamental player who does what he needs to do and I reckon he does it really, really well. But also, Turg as well. He's really good with getting past one defender at the back and then making it a 3-on-2 opportunity. But either of them, even Boppy, all of them are all-round players. So they can attack, they can defend, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens and how their strategies play through tonight.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, I've just sent you the password to the lobby. So, ladies and gentlemen, get excited, because we are just a little bit away from this first period starting up here between the Melbourne Marshys and the Sydney Gafs. We'll see exactly how this one unfolds. Boppy, Turg, and Joycey coming out for the Melbourne Marshys, and Ended, Levy, Zemix for the Sydney Gafs here. So we'll see how this one goes. I'm already seeing people in chat going, I'm going for Melbourne Marshys, Gafs win first period. We got some bets going out there. Be very, very fascinating to see.
See, that's what I love as well, because usually when we're going into some of these final games, we have a very, very one-sided final coming up to the grand final, but this one I feel like is going to be close, and hopefully we get to a game 5. That's what I'm hoping for and dreaming for at this point.
Exactly. There's a tradition of clean sweeps going around Pro League and IM for quite some time now, so hopefully...
Yes, there has, and I've been victim of a lot of those, but let's not talk about that.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. We don't talk about that. Yeah, so hopefully we can go ahead and break that curse, get a few more games in than just 3, break from the formula just a little bit, but we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, both teams are going to put their best foot forward, and it should be great. There's a lot of conversation going on in the chat right now. A lot of shout outs and whatnot. So,
everyone's turning up tonight. Hopefully, we get a lot of viewers coming through to the Pro OSL Grand Final. So,
one other thing that might actually be worth mentioning, just while we're waiting for some of these players to ready up here, the Sydney Gafs do have a bit of a tradition of getting to semis or grand finals dropping the ball a little bit.
I said this to my team when we were actually talking, when we were making predictions. I have noticed over the past few seasons, Sydney Gafs do, exactly what you were saying. They get to the semis, grand finals, and then they don't play up to their expectations. But I'm hoping today is the exact opposite of that, and they prove us all wrong. But fingers crossed, we got a good game amongst us, and we should be able to have a close one.
Exactly. Well said. Still waiting for some of the Sydney Gafs to ready up. I wonder what's going on behind the scenes there.
Nervous toilet breaks or just getting everything ready, making sure there's no issues, because these guys have been warming up all afternoon in our pugs. I've seen Boppy. He was looking very, very fresh. And then, in our pugs as well, they had their whole team, Ended, Levy, and Zemix. They were doing well as well, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
All right, just waiting on 2 players now. I don't think we're going to see any substitutes coming out from either team here tonight, considering there's nobody else joining us on the bench.
Exactly.
And especially considering the thirds for both of them don't typically play, such as Life and Nikki. So I'd be very surprised if we see them.
They have the 4-man roster, but the 4th man never.
Yeah. They've got the bench warmer.
Exactly. Orange pillar.
Yeah. I don't think that we're going to see Nikki join in whatsoever. Such as Life is a possibility. He does play occasionally, but Something tells me that we're not really going to see him here tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that is going to be the case, but we are all readied up and it looks like we're getting kicked off.
Here we go, launching into this first period. It's just as you say, Cooper. Melbourne Marshys versus Sydney Gafs begins here. Boppy with this one. Pass upfield over to Joycey, already going for a few little passes there. But unfortunately not able to claim that one, Joycey. Pass midfield to Ended. Very strong start for some of these passing plays here already. Just 20 seconds in. Turg running back to take this one. Pass upfield over to Boppy. Levy with a good take on it. Moves upfield. And Turg stands in that one. Levy almost forcing it over to goals. But Joycey cleaning this play up just a little bit. Turg challenged by Levy. Doesn't get the puck for it though. Back down behind his own net. Boppy on boards. Maybe looking for a boards pass. Does find him, but Ended with a good take. Forced back down to Turg. Looks like Turg's going to be taking up that back playing role here.
Yes,
quite a little bit. Levy racing up. Good center to Ended. Not able to find the shot though. Beautiful defense. And taking it to the other end of the field.
Wow. Sydney Gafs were looking for so threatening there. They just couldn't get it through, but Boppy with his first chance seems to get 1-0 already. Wow.
Jeez, okay. Strong start from the Marshys here tonight. Might I also just say that was one of the most annoying goal ones that I have heard.
Is that newly released? Because I saw it in the store today, and I wasn't 100% sure. Because I heard there was 2 ones in the daily store, but I'm not sure if they were new release or they've been up before, and I just haven't heard them. But
yeah, it's relatively new. Past couple weeks, I believe that they've come out.
Yeah.
Pass. Over to Z-Mix. Boppy nearly own-goaling that one. Good thing Turg was ready and waiting. Moving up here. Looking for a line over to Joycey, maybe marked very well by Sydney Gafs, closing off all lines and opportunities here for the Melbourne Marshys. Levy forced back down behind his own net. Pass upfield over to Ended. Triple passing play there over to Z-Mix, only to force it back over to Levy. Joycey putting on some pressure here, forcing out some steps. Levy backing down. Trying to work his way up the field on his own. Ended coming in. Joycey with a good take. Not able to get a pass around to the rest of his team, though. Still contesting for the puck back down behind Sydney Gaff net here. Ends up with Ended in the back play. Don't normally see that rotation there. Z-Mix trying to make it work. A little bit rough, though. A little bit sketchy here. Z-Mix with almost a good take, but Turg recovering possession for the Melbourne Marshys. Boppy to Joycey. Turg is in the middle of the field, ready and waiting for a pass. Back in some field space, and Boppy with a beautiful shot there.
Wow. Yeah, Boppy's probably going to be their shot taker for tonight. He's very, very clinical with it. As a controller player, he can brute force nearly anything, so it's probably going to be a very, very common theme for tonight, but hopefully Sydney Gafs can fire straight back.
Exactly. You also said that he was practicing a hell of a lot and looked very fresh in the RPUGs. Z-Mix with a take, but Turg, the bumps are crazy from that man.
Yeah, so, going back from before, Boppy, he's dribbling, he's been practicing, he's been putting in the work, as seen already with a hat-trick in the first 3 minutes of the first period. Wow.
My goodness,
man. See how clinical he is with it. He's putting the top bins nearly every single shot. It's crazy to see.
There's some precision in that. Some very, very good shot taking from the man.
It's hours of time, I reckon. Just sitting in practice, getting it perfect, making it work, and he's proven to be able to get it off in game as well.
One-man army at the moment. 3 shots. Some beautiful passes coming out from his teammates as well. Joycey trying to get on the leaderboard here tonight. Looks like Turg's going to take this one. Back down behind net. Nope, goes all the way across over to Boppy. Joycey ready and waiting upfield. Able to put on a lot of pressure. Sydney Gafs playing most of this game in their own end of the rink here tonight. Ended running and bumping on Turg. Might get a result here. No. Goes over to Boppy. Looking for a pass upfield. Joycey and Turg ready to play it wide. Ended coming in and punishing that. Z-Mix looks like he's going to take this one back. Forced through down to Levy. You know, usually you'll see this guy playing back, playing a bit of goalie, taking control of the offense, finding those passing lines. Very, very talented player. Looking for a line over to Z-Mix now, maybe, in the middle of the field. Can't find much though. Does go through boards, ends up with Zemix. Boppy taking this one. Raked back around over to Levy. Looking to try and step past Joycey. No, pass again to Zemix. A lot of passes going out here. Joycey with this one racing up the field. Takes a shot himself, but Levy, beautiful man in goals. Restricts that one. Delicate pass over to Zemix. My goodness. Very well handled there by the man himself. Pass over to Zemix. Missed a little bit. Joycey ready and raring to punish on that one. Might end up with Turg in the back play. No! Shot just a little bit too wide. Turg having to secure this one. Just 20 seconds left in this first period here. Sydney Gafs looking a little bit rough around the edges, to be honest.
Yes, I would agree, but I've just been looking at the stats now, and Melbourne Marshys' top goal scorer this season was actually Joycey. Joycey with the most goals, then Boppy, then Turg.
For real?
And then ended, obviously, top scorer for Gafs, followed by Zemix and Levy, usually their back player, but Joycey has been the top goal scorer, and then Turg and Boppy with the most assists out of that.
Jeez, okay.
For Boppy to be firing off this early, it's not looking promising for Sydney Gafs at this stage, but hopefully they can claw something back. Ended can get a few goals. Zemix, Levy, passing plays can come through because we know that they are capable of it. So fingers crossed that we can see it tonight.
Exactly. I mean, for the top team as well, they haven't lost any games whatsoever. There was one time where they were close in an OT, and I believe, judging from how this game's unfolding, it was Melbourne Marshys that they were playing up against. So,
yes, one of their, I think they had 2 OT games, but one of the stats, that's another issue. But we got to OT with them once, and then Melbourne Marshys did as well once. So their season has been very, very dominant with wins and just such, but I know Melbourne Marshys can turn up here in finals, and they look very, very dominant at the moment. So we'll see how that goes.
Right, let's see the playoff Boppy here. I mean, we've seen just how well Boppy can play in a finals position from his previous experiences through FPS slappers, right? Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what they dominated 3 seasons in a row in Pro League. So there's some very, very strong players on their team.
Yeah, definitely agree. Because in RPOX today, Boppy was actually playing a lot with Chim, obviously his FPS teammate back in the day, and they were looking very, very strong. So maybe future reunite, I'm not sure, but they were looking very, very strong together, and hopefully, if we see that, I reckon they're going to be unbeatable yet again. But yeah, if Boppy can do it with any team, could definitely do it with Marshys tonight.
Just as a little bit of a sidetrack, I'm seeing in here, Mollybar has pinged me saying to tell Cooper that I miss him and love him. So some support coming out here for Cooper. Very nice to see.
Love you, Mollybar. Love you.
Oh, Zemix setting something up here. Beautiful pass to Ended, but Boppy covering well there. That was a actual really, really good save. Marking both the shot and the pass in one motion there.
See, Boppy's just an all-rounder player. He can attack, he can defend. He's great with positioning. Create those chances, so it's going to be a very, very good player tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boppy!
my God.
What? What a shot! Straight through 3.
Oh my goodness. He's done it yet again. That is 4-0. This shouldn't be happening in the grand final stage. Boppy can't be making them look so foolish. He's making it look so easy. It's crazy to think. Like, because this is Pro League. This is the best of the best in OSL. He shouldn't be able to be getting 4 goals that easily. It's... Oh
no! You hate to see it. Sydney Gafs unfolding from a nearly flawless season.
Hopefully this is their warm-up game, because I do not want to see every other game go like this. But yeah, Levy just has to be careful at the back there, because they know they can get Melbourne Marshys can get aggressive. So just gotta watch it in future. But interesting to see what's going on here.
Yeah, honestly, when I saw the polls from chat come out and people were voting for Melbourne Marshys to win this one, I was just looking at it going like, what are you thinking? The Sydney Gafs haven't lost at all, right? Yeah. They've come close, but they haven't lost. But I'm seeing right now the games may have been a lot closer than I previously thought. Boppy with this one.
Yeah, I agree. It's like this should be a lot closer, and they're getting so many chances as well, and just they're not capitalizing on them.
It's got to be the nerves here. The Sydney Gafs Sydney Gafs classic, if I might say.
No, I would definitely agree with that.
Levy moving this one. Pass over to Ended. Oh, it's a good pass to Zemix, but didn't have the time to pull off the shot that he was looking for. Turg on this one. Bump battle back down behind Melbourne Marshys goals here. Turg taking it upfield, looking for a pass over to Boppy, maybe. No, chips it over himself for a little shot. Not able to find anything. Ended, competing with Boppy right now. Some very, very strong bumps on boards that I've seen tonight as well. Joycey, shot on goals, not able to find it though. Levy moving up, Boppy taking a shot himself. He's already scored, what, 4 tonight? It's just... Sydney Gafs do not seem to be able to hold on to it.
Yeah, it feels like Melbourne Marshys are looking so strong, not letting a single thing go through. And they're getting those chances, but they're just cleaning it up so well. Like, they're just looking so strong. And even when they get a shot off, it just seems like an easy near-post save just sitting there. But, like, yeah, the way they're looking tonight and the way Sydney Gafs are playing now, I know they can do way better. The passing plays they were hitting in our pugs this morning were crazy. Like, they know they can keep possession. They know they don't have to dump every single time, but... This, yeah, they know they can play better, and we hope that they can pick up, and then we can get a closer game.
Turg with this one. Pass over to Joycey, looking for a center, maybe a wrap here. Not able to find any passes. 5 seconds left to go. Melbourne Marshys will finish this one very happy, I believe. Very, very strong performance out from them.
Still no goals from Sydney Gafs, so we're hoping Sydney Gafs get one, they come in rolling quickly. I think the momentum can maybe get them going and get a few goals back, even just to keep this game alive. But otherwise, they're going to go straight into game 2 with no hope.
Yeah, it'd be very, very rough here for the Sydney Gafs from a player's standpoint if they were to finish this game off without any points at all. Like, that's got to destroy some morale in you. That's got to tilt you a little bit, you know?
Has to, completely.
Yeah. And we already know that Sydney Gaf's nerves are a little bit stronger than for most teams. So,
no, I definitely agree.
Yeah. It'd be an awful thing for them if they go down without scoring any points at all here.
No, I definitely agree. Because we know, I've seen them been putting in the work, and if they get a result like this, I know they're not going to be happy about it. Because they've been putting in practice with scrims, with just in RPOGs, they've been grinding in practice. They've been doing everything they can. And if we get a result like this, I know they're not going to be happy. It's going to be really devastating.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get someone coming back.
Well, it is a best of 5, so there's plenty of time for the Sydney Gafs to redeem themselves. Even in this period here, 5 minutes, well, not 5 minutes anymore, but 4 minutes, 20 seconds to score 5 points. It's definitely a possibility. It's not easy at all, but, you know, we've seen weirder stuff happen. Like, I think I've seen
100%.
a 3-point comeback within 30 seconds.
Yes, that is very, very true. We know from the semi-finals in Melbourne Marshys when they both South Sydney Sugar Gliders, they were down 2-0 going into like the third period, or it was 2 goals in the third period or something, and then they crawled back and then it went to OT. That game was honestly crazy for us, but hopefully we can get a repeat of that because that was a good game.
Yeah, getting a close one here in the grand final would just be absolutely lovely for both us. I think that we would both love that, and we would also love the chat to get into it as well, you know. Close games are always the best to watch. They're always the best to watch.
100%.
All right, Boppy with this one. Again, Sydney Gafs playing from their own end of the field. Centre the Boppy!
Oh, good pass by Joycey there to finish it off by Boppy. Really good. Levy just getting caught. Just off guard. Obviously losing the puck, giving it straight to Joycey, giving him so much time as well because Sydney Gafs weren't all back yet. But yeah, Levy, I think, just the nerves maybe getting to him, just playing it around the back, making too many mistakes, and then Melbourne Marshys just easily being able to capitalize off that.
Yeah.
The issue at the moment.
Oh, Boppy with another one. That's his second hat trick in the first game.
Yeah, this is definitely not helping Sydney Gafs right now. their mindsets could be a bit loose. They could just need to get straight into this game 2 and leave this one behind. But
Yeah.
they just need to breathe, take their time, play the fundamentals, play it simple. Don't complicate it too much, because sometimes the simple things can do its job. So,
yeah. At this point for the Sydney Gafs, the first match point, the first series point, is definitely a write-off. 7 minutes, 2 minutes 30 left to go. Only a miracle can bring you back into this one. So, for the rest of this, I think that they just got to focus on, trying to score one goal, get something in the net, prove to themselves that they can do it, and then work for a comeback starting in the next point. But yeah, this has just been an absolute stomp by Melbourne Marshys for this first game here. Still a lot of promise shown from Sydney Gafs with some of the passing plays, but just none of the finishes are connecting. It's just not quite working out for them.
Yeah.
It's difficult to explain what, but it's just not,
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Even in the first 30 seconds, they were having so many chances. They were looking so strong. And then Marshys got their first chance, and then it was 1-0. And then after that, they haven't looked strong at all. So I'm hoping... Good save by Levy there.
Yeah, beautiful save, beautiful save.
But yeah, we need them to crawl back and get something. We need the viewers and us to be entertained. We need this to be close.
We need some hype going in this one, yeah. One thing that I do want to mention, though, is that Turg has done really well in the back, not letting a single goal in.
Yeah, he's looking very, very strong. And I think just closing them down early is the way they're going for, because even, just all round, they're doing very, very well. I think they're keeping composed, because obviously they've been in this scenario heaps of times now, so they know what's expected of them, and they know what they have to do.
They absolutely do have a finals team, don't they?
Yeah, even with their experience and everything like that, they know exactly how they're going to have to play this, because they've won it before. Well, Boppy has, I'm not sure about everyone else, but they know what they have to do.
Yeah, I would imagine that Turg's won once or twice before at least.
Yeah, I would expect so, because him being such a class player, especially with Boppy and Joycey, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out tonight.
Joycey with this one, looking to try and get some more points just before this first series point finishes. Sydney Gafs still looking to get just that one to get their morale up. Here's a chance for him. Zemix getting it over to Levy, but Turg pushing it all the way back. Again, Sydney Gafs working it out from their end of the field. And just some beautiful defense going on from Melbourne Marshys here. Not a single mistake has been let through. Levy moving this one up. Good bumps. Boppy running it upfield. And that will likely be the final point of this game here.
Wow, even looking at the stats, he's had 7 goals, 10 shots. He's got a 70% conversion rate from it, and that's really, really strong, because throughout the season, he's had let me just get this stat up now, but in this game alone, he's had a 70% conversion rate, compared to the rest of the season, where he's only had a 37%.
Yeah.
So he's taken half the shots than he would in a normal season and got the same amount of goals. So it's crazy to think about how easy he's making it look.
Yeah. It's a very, very rough start to the night for the Sydney Gafs here. We'll go ahead and give the Melbourne Marshys their series point and take a look at some of these stats from that last game. All in all, it's looking pretty even. Sydney Gafs, though, with a shocking 0% shot conversion rate.
Yeah, wow.
Not the best look for them. Not the best look.
Not at all.
Face-offs, Melbourne Marshys do take a little bit more of the early possession there. Passes, they're leading, not by too much. Saves are actually down in, likely due to the pressure that Sydney Gafs has put under. But just in general, it all comes down to that shot conversion right there, which is it's such a hard stat to overcome, It's so difficult.
Yeah, because even other than the goals and the shot conversion and face-offs, everything else is actually really, really similar. Similar saves, similar passes, and possession was only 45-55%. So it shouldn't. The result definitely doesn't convey what the real match is with Holding. If you get what I mean.
Yeah. I get what you mean. There's a lot of talent in the Sydney Gafs if they can just connect with some of their passing plays, if they can connect with some of their shots. I saw a few post hits from Ended here and there.
Yeah.
If they can just land those, then they will be like they'll have a good shot. They'll have a good chance at winning the series, right?
Yeah,
But
I feel like
it's so rough to come back with that stat in mind, though.
yeah, no, it is. It's terrible to think about. Like, they didn't get a single goal in the first game, which is really going to be devastating for them. But I feel like once they get one, they're going to come rolling in quickly. I feel like once they get their morale and stuff back and they're just settled and they know what they're doing, they'll be back in this game, and I reckon we'll have a close one ahead of us.
Yep. Well, there is a second lobby up, by the way, just letting you know. So feel free to join that whenever you can. But yeah, it's... I don't know. I don't know what Sydney Gafs can really do better other than just play better, right? Because they're finding good passes. They're finding good opportunities, but they're not capitalizing on it. It's a simple matter-of-fact statement. They're just not taking advantage of the chances they're getting. And it's so rough to see these high-quality, high-class players have a game like that.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like, just because Marshys are looking so strong, they're going to have to really turn up in this game and realize what they're going to have to do so we can get a good game in this. And it looks like they're going to start strong. Oh my God.
Hold on a minute.
First goal inside of 14 seconds in the second game. First period. And I think we're going to see it coming in quickly.
Do not write the Gafs off just yet. As I said before, it is a best of 5, ladies and gents. There's plenty of time for the Sydney Gafs to mount a comeback here. And they've actually scored right off the bat. That's got to do wonders for how they're feeling going into this period here.
Yeah, it's going to make them feel a lot better, 100%. And hopefully that lifts them up and they just finish off this game. And then we have 1-1 and then we're straight back into it in game 3. And then it's anyone's game from here.
What are the odds that the VC just now between the Sydney Gafs was exploding with excitement?
I can nearly guarantee it. Them screaming at each other, saying, "Come on, boys!" And then just, hopefully they're lifting up from here and they realize they have a chance in this. This game is not over. Best of 5, one game means nothing. Well, it means something, but you can definitely turn it around from there.
Yeah, it means something, but it's not be-all and end-all. You know, you've still got plenty of other chances. It does mean that you can only really throw one more series point, but I mean, it's still, it's still absolutely workable. It's a scoreline that you can work with.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, very interesting question coming up from the chat just now. Has there ever been 5 games in a grand final played in the history of OSL?
I'm going to look at the stats now, and I'll get an answer for you guys soon.
Okay.
But honestly, I don't think there's been... Well, I know there hasn't been one for like the past 5 or 6 seasons. I definitely don't think there's been one in Slapshot Rebound. Yeah, definitely not in Slapshot Rebound.
To my knowledge, I don't think there's been one at all. But, it'd be absolutely great to get that confirmed with the stats. So we could potentially be looking at a first for OSL here, depending on how this game goes. All right, Turg with it right now. Pass upfield over to Joyce C. Looking at one over to Boppy. We'll find him. Turg with this one. Passing over to Boppy. Nearly able to get that one in. Just goes a little bit too wide, though. Down to Joycey. Again, over to Boppy. Looking for some of those really high-quality passing plays. Turg bringing this one back again. Looking for an upfield pass. Over to Boppy. Does find him. Joycey moving into the center field. Waiting for a cross. Won't find it, though. Turg looking to try and slot that one himself. Again, can't find anything. Defense for Sydney Gafs looking a little bit more stable. Bit close there on that one, though. Levy just barely able to get that one away from net. Turg. Pressured a little bit here by Ended, but in the end, chooses to go back down behind goals and just comes up with it. Business as usual, nice and calm here for Melbourne Marshys. Once again with it. Zemix, opportunity here. Hold on a minute, the shot is on point, and Sydney Gafs scoring their second point here.
This is what I like to see.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. 2-0 Sydney Gafs. Mounting a comeback here at the moment. Zemix carrying it. Looking for a pass over to Ended. Bobby nearly getting a point there out of the blue. Joycey, pass back to Turg. Looking to try and move up here. 1 minute 30 left to go in this period. Joycey trying to slot one himself, can't find the net. Ends it with Boppy on boards. Bumped a little bit by Z-Mix. Shoved out to Joycey in the middle, not able to find the goals. And Levy with it once again. Ended. Trying to play a little bit of midfield there, looking for a short pass to him to work it up to Z-Mix probably. Plan doesn't go how it was supposed to. Ended. Looking to go over to Levy here. A little bit of an awkward pass, still works out for the man himself. Over to Ended. Goes for a clear there. I think it meant to be a shot, but a bit wide. Ends it with Turg taking some clean possession. Looking for a header pass over to Boppy, I think. I think that's what they were playing for there. But Boppy not able to convert off the back of it. Turg. Once again, over to Boppy. Joycey playing close to goals. Again, looking for a center pass, but we'll see what happens with that. Z-Mix to Levy. Over to Ended again. Can't quite find the puck. Turg on it. Maybe looking for Joycey. Does choose to go to him. You know, very strong player. As you said before, Cooper, he was the leading goal scorer for the pro regular season. Ended nearly slotting another one in there. Z-Mix! Beautiful man there.
Oh, this is what I like to see. This is looking so much better from Gafs. Z-Mix has just turned up and he's capitalizing on every chance he can get.
A lot more consistent and a lot more polished than their first game from the Gafs here.
It's literally swapped. Last game, Melbourne Marshys were up 3-0 in the first period. Gafs now up 3-0 in the first period.
We could be seeing a reverse game here.
We literally could. And I've looked back at the past seasons. I think season 14 we had against Dixon Spiders and the Hom Trophy. That went to a game 4. But
it was close.
I also noticed in season 11 was Sydney Gafs versus FPS, which is pretty much the same teams we have here tonight. But the FPS swept them 3-0. So.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, but other than that, in Slapshot Rebound, we've only seen one best go to a game 4, and everything else has been a sweep. So.
Right. So very awkward stuff going on in chat, by the way, at the moment.
Yes.
We've got Levy, who's experiencing, 2 pucks on the screen at once.
That does happen.
So, you know, a little bit of a bug there. Luckily, Melbourne Marshys and Sydney Gafs are both, you know, just playing with a bit of sportsmanship here, waiting it out, letting them rejoin, fixing some technical errors. Yeah, that's some really good stuff seeing from the players here tonight.
And it looks like, we're all good now. But yeah, that bug has been around for a little bit now. It gets a bit frustrating, especially in pro games. So luckily we got that fixed, and the sportsmanship is really good.
Exactly.
Good to see.
Also, another message out from Doot here. He says that Game of Thrones versus FPA in Open League did go to 5 points, 5 games. So that's very interesting to make note of.
Yes, that is, with my stats, I was only looking at pro games, but Open and Intermediate, I think they've had a few game 5s, so those games seem to be a lot more closer than pro, and good save by Levy there.
Yeah, especially with that, the domination periods between just some of the strongest team comps in pro. You know, FPS slappers with Chim and Boppy, that was crazy for quite some time. You also had the Segs Champs, their domination for a few seasons straight. There's been a lot of just straight wins by certain teams throughout the past.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree, because I remember when I first started playing Slapshot, there was Goon Squids. They were dominating every game, and then it went from Seg Champs, and then to FPS, and then now it seems to be any team Boppy's on. I hate to give him boost his ego that much, but he seems to be doing it so well, and he's winning everything he gets his hands on.
He's a very, very strong player. Sydney Gafs looking to get some points here tonight on the series scoreline. They are looking very strong, might I say. This period has been very, very even from both sides.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree. Defense is looking a lot better from Gafs,
Hmm.
but I also feel like Melbourne Marshys haven't had that many chances as they would have last game. I feel like maybe they need to get more shots off to have a chance in this game too. But
Hmm.
yeah, Gafs are looking a lot more determined, a lot more dominant.
Yeah.
And
Oh!
oh my gosh.
What a shot from boards! How on earth?
I feel just the quick first time flick of the stick, it does the job. He catches them off guard and makes it 4-0. This is what we... Okay.
Uh-oh.
And we got to respond straight back. Boppy is back in this game, and this could make a very, very close game too if they pick it up and keep it going. But that is now 4-1. We got a goal for each side the first time of this series.
Yeah.
This game.
Usually you'd expect that to happen in the first game, but Boppy here getting up for the Melbourne Marshys right now. Sydney Gafs 4 to Melbourne Marshys 1. Now, I believe that the Sydney Gafs early play in that first period, just 20 seconds in, was very, very important in what's been going on so far this period. I think that that's put Melbourne Marshys on the back foot, a little bit more worried about defense, and that's really let Sydney Gafs try and move around the field a lot more, have a lot more freedom with the puck and get some more shots off. But now, Melbourne Marshys have got their tail up in the form of Boppy scoring an absolute perler. This could be rough.
Yeah, it could be, because I feel like Zemix has been the player in this game so far. He's looking a lot stronger. As I say that, Joycey with a beautiful shot, angles it just past Levy, gets it off his head, but wow, what an angle to get there by Joycey, and now this game has just got a little bit closer.
You can see why he's the leading goal scorer throughout the regular season. He's had a few absolute perlers tonight here.
Yeah, that's a very, very good shot to get off, especially against this team. It's not easy to do stuff like that.
Zemix a little bit too gentle, ends up giving possession over to Boppy. Oh, misses the pass to Joycey. The timing was slightly off there. Won't be the last
Boppy
that we see of that
open.
combo, though. Yeah, yeah. There's a saying, the open net's the hardest one to hit.
Exactly. I feel like if someone could clip that, we could let Boppy feel that moment for the rest of his life.
We'll clip it. Yeah.
But
makes up for it, though.
he does make up for it. He's looking so strong, and this is the Boppy we know and we've seen multiple times before. Like, getting shots off like that, it is crazy to think, like, how good of a player he is compared to a lot of the players in OSL. Like, he's definitely a standout, and he's definitely one of those players that are going to be around for a while. He's going to be dominant for a lot of seasons. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially considering that he's only been around for, like, what, 4 or 5 seasons or so?
Yeah, he hasn't been around for long, but I feel like, honestly, I've been thinking about it, and it could just be the controller difference. Like, he is one of the main players, and a lot of the top players we see nowadays are on controller.
Oh, really?
Like, we have Boppy, we have Chim, but even I was looking at SPL in the US, and a lot of their pro players, I was looking at the semifinals, 5 out of 6 of their players were using controller.
Jeez, okay.
So it's something to definitely think about, because, yeah, definitely one of the top players in the league being Boppy, but, yeah.
Even overseas, the controller bumps are a struggle to deal with.
exactly it. And now it's just controller versus controller.
Right, okay.
All of Sydney Gafs are mouse and keyboard players, so I think that could maybe be an influence today, or not 100% sure. But yeah, the controller bumps are definitely something that is not easy to deal with.
Yeah, either way, we should probably talk about this a little bit more here, but Melbourne Marshys have closed the gap 4-3 right now. This could be incredibly difficult for the Sydney Gafs here, considering that the scoreline of the first game just got so out of proportion so quickly.
Yeah, hopefully going into this third period, they can hold on to their lead and just maybe keep it around the back, just keep possession. That's all they'll have to do, just so they don't throw away this game, because they really need it at this stage. If they go 2-0 up, they're on thin ice, because they can't give away one more, otherwise this series will be over in 3.
Classic quote there. I'm sure Spa knows a lot about thin ice.
No, I can guarantee that.
Turg in the back with this one. Oh, steps past ended. Beautiful pass over to Boppy. Not able to do anything with it, though. Maybe looking to get it over to Joycey. No, goes back over to Turg. Looking for a line. Goes to Boppy. Once again over to Joycey. They're really liking these 3-man plays here. But Sydney Gafs are covering Joycey really well from a defensive standpoint. Levy moving this one back, looking to try and get it over to Zemix maybe. Cut off by Joycey, still finds a way to step around him. Beautiful pass over to Andrew with a shot on goals. Turg covering very, very well there. Beautiful defense. Speaking of Turg, moving that one up. Ends it with the Levy right now, stepping past Boppy. Pretty important player to get through in terms of moving the offense here. Ends it with Zemix. Pass over to Levy. Maybe looking to try and get it to ended. Covered very well again by Melbourne Marshys here. Very difficult to work around them in terms of the field. Joycey. Maybe going over to Boppy. No, goes to Turg. Zemix ends up forcing that one through a little bit there. Not able to find any passing players off the back of that one. Levy in the back play. Joycey with it right now. No, ended, sorry. Pass over to Zemix. Might have to go back here. Covered very, very well by Melbourne Marshys. You can see the defense just swing over to that side of the field, and Boppy leveling the game here with yet another hat trick.
Unlucky by Levy dashing out of the way, but this game has just got one step closer to a sweep, and we don't want to see that. We don't want this to be a dominant game. We want to see it close. We want this, we want to show the other regions what OSL is about. And that it isn't one-sided, but I feel like Ended, we still haven't seen a lot of this Sydney Gafs full potential yet. Ended, being the top scorer for the Sydney Gafs team, we haven't seen him score many goals tonight or even get that many good shots off. But we did see that one off the wall, which he did place pretty much perfectly beforehand. But I know that he is a lot better than this, and then if he gets a few more shots off, I reckon he can capitalize.
He's very, very capable.
He's a deadly player, and we really want to see him show Melbourne Marshys what's going to be happening tonight.
Well, either way, with just a minute 40 left to go in this one, Sydney Gafs are riding on the back of this game here. Turg making a little bit of a mistake there, but still ends up A-OK thanks to some cover defense from the rest of his team. 1 minute 30. It's plenty of time to get a lead in this game, plenty of time, but also plenty of time to make a mistake. Turg with this one. Looking to try and pass it upfield, maybe. Not able to find anything. Does get it over to Boppy, though. Levy trying to cover, slotting it in. What a narrow shot that was. Defense from Sydney Gafs just not keeping up with that one. Levy overreading the play, dashing back down behind goals. Leaving poor Ended in the net. Not really the person that you want there. And honestly, I can't really expect him to save that one either. But Melbourne Marshys taking the lead with just 1 minute left to go in this period here.
This game was looking so dominant in the first period by Gafs. We thought they had it back, but yet it's now 5-4. Melbourne Marshys have had a good comeback at the end of this period. They've brought it back, and now they're in the lead and looking to be 2 games up to none.
You can see that the nerves are starting to get into Sydney Gafs' minds now.
That's sad to see. Very sad to see.
It's rough. It's very, very rough for the Gafs here. They can hold out for such a long time, but the moment that something starts to swing in Melbourne Marshys' favour, they kind of just break apart.
It seems like that's the way it's been. They look so strong. They regathered themselves. They had this game. They nearly had it on lock, and then I think they just gave it away. They just made too many mistakes, and when Melbourne Marshys got their first goal back, they just let them get more and more. I felt like they just fell off a little bit. But
yeah, nerves got to them, and they let a few free goals through, and that's basically the end of the story for that game there. Either way, very well played by the Melbourne Marshys, being able to stay in it and come back in that last period, I believe, just the one. So very good stuff from them. But Sydney Gafs, they just need to be a little bit more consistent with that one there. And I reckon they definitely could have had it. That was the strongest they looked all night, for sure.
Yeah, it was. Even Boppy being the top goal scorer again in this game, he's definitely, we know he's a class player. And so him being so dominant on this team is just, he's a very, very good player, and it's class to see him do what he does well.
yet again, though, the stats look very, very similar to the last game, where most of them are even, except for the shot conversion, which is, again, massively in favor of Melbourne Marshys, 31% to 50%. It's really just got to come down to getting some of those nerves under control, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, 100%. Because you can also tell face-offs are actually a lot more even, so that could have something to do with it as well. But yeah, I feel like just the shot conversion is the difference. I feel like just that finished product hasn't been coming through too well for Sydney Gafs, and they started off really well by getting it done early, but from the second and third period, they didn't look as strong as they were in the first.
Yeah. All right, well, we've got our next game up and ready. New lobby, same teams, same old. Sydney Gafs now with their backs pressed up against the line. Melbourne Marshys with the potential chance to ice this one off here and have a full sweep. And I hate to say it, but Boppy may have done it again.
Yeah. Actually, okay, the final season of Slap 1 was a Game 5.
Oh, for real?
Game 5 against Zinger and Goon Squids. I was playing in this, I do remember. It was a Game 5 OT as well. So final game was OT, 3-2 final score.
Oh, that would have been an awesome game.
It would have been, but I haven't heard the end of it from Hoppy. So Hoppy and Skits and one of my mate Zanik as well. But I have not heard the end of it, especially from Hoppy. He reminds me every single day. So, but yeah, that was a Game 5. That was actually one of the closest. That was to wrap up Slapshot 1 as well. So that was the final Slap 1 games and everything, and it was back in Slap 1. I feel like it hasn't been that close since then. Like, because Zingers in that season were underdogs. They finished off third in the season. We were first. And then they just stormed through Seg Champs and then Goon Squids as well in the finals.
Damn, what season was that, by the way?
This was season 7.
Jeez, okay. That's pretty damn impressive, best of 5 back then. Because I'm part of the Slapshot rebound era, right? I think I joined right at the start of the first rebound season. But I didn't get a good chance to play Slapshot 1, so I don't know if that was easier or more difficult or, more intense.
I feel like it is, like, you see as many goals scored in Slap 1 as you did Slap 2. This, the amount that's scored and the amount that you see, like, intensity-wise, is probably the exact same. So it's, pretend just like the first Slapshot rebound final was the exact same. Oh, and I think we might be getting a little bit of lag.
Yeah, definitely getting some lag. Sticks looked a little bit crook there. And it seems like it's pretty consistent as well, the lag. We saw in the IM semi-final as well that we had a lot of lag. So
I was tuning into the stream for that and I did see that. It was, it's not great to see. Just everyone at Irv.
Yeah, yeah, maybe don't actually at Irv, but either way, very, very intense lag there for both teams. Yeah, we're getting told new lobby. Okay, we'll go ahead and leave that and let that one close down. But lag has definitely been a little bit of a player in this season, I believe.
It's been more prominent than ever.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not sure exactly what's happened, but I feel like the hosts, just wherever servers are based, I think it's in Sydney, but it's just, I don't know what's going on, but because I know OCE servers are a lot more expensive than in the US because there's obviously not as many.
Yeah,
but shout out to Irv as well for
continuing to put up with us.
Literally, because it's so expensive, and I'm pretty sure in the OCE alone, they don't actually make profit off of OCE.
Yeah.
But just because of how expensive servers and everything are, and servers and everything are, and with the player base, how it's not as big compared to the other regions, it's just, it's interesting to see. But fingers crossed, we can get something fixed in the near future.
All right, no lag at the start of this lobby, though, so we're all good to continue with the grand final. Sydney Gafs on the back here, on the back foot, trying to go for a reverse sweep. Odds of that, to be honest, not looking fantastic for them at the moment, but they are I was about to say they are the #1 team from the regular season. but ended saving and then scoring a goal in his own net.
That could be commentator's curse, not gonna lie.
Yeah. I didn't even get to finish my sentence before it happened, man.
Oh no, they can hear you right now and they're molding over it.
Yeah.
It's devastating to see this this game 3 start off like this, but
Absolutely
hopefully they can
devastating.
fall back and don't let it affect them in the long run.
Molly Bar trying to rub some salt in the wound by saying, let's just acknowledge that Gafs haven't had a loss at all up until now. So, very, very rough stuff coming out from the chat here tonight.
Yeah, but I think it's 100% off this things we were saying at the start, just before the games, just that they lack in grand final Sydney Gafs. And they don't turn up as well as they do in regular season, and I think it is the nerves that just get to them and doesn't let them finish the final product.
Yeah. It's rough. It's rough to try and calm those nerves, especially if you keep getting to semis and then dropping out as well. I believe that's the story for Sydney Gafs.
Yeah,
Always get to semis, never get to the grand final. So I don't know how many they've actually been in terms of grand finals.
Oh, okay, we're back.
Hold on a minute. Put a pause to it. Sydney Gafs ended scoring a beautiful
Maybe this could be his
goal there.
turnaround.
Maybe.
We've been waiting on him to show up, and he's hopefully can continue this. Because we know he's a strong player. He's the star of Sydney Gafs. He's the top goal scorer. Let's see if we can continue that now.
Turg with this one in the back play. Melbourne Marshys at 1 point to Sydney Gafs at 1 point. Z-Mix pass to Levy. You can see that they get some beautiful passes out, but some of the individual plays and the strong bumps coming from the Marshys players are just very difficult to cope with. Boppy over to Joycey. Nearly some points there as well. You've seen a couple passes between those two, Boppy and Joycey. I talked about it during the warm-up as well, but the Turg-Boppy combo absolutely devastated last season in the grand final, I believe it was as well.
Yes. Yeah.
But this season, so far in this grand final, Boppy and Joycey look to be lethal as well.
Yeah, they're looking very, very strong. Like, even just their whole team. Just, they're finished product, they're clinical, like, it's all working out for them really, really well. And Boppy being their star player, being able to work with anyone, it really shows.
Yeah, they've got it down to an absolute art, man, I swear.
Yeah, literally. I feel like a lot of teams have set plays, and they can do anything with the puck, and it really is amazing how well they can execute play, or just anything. I feel like they don't have many tactics, but just the fundamentals they use just work so well against any team.
We've got a chat message coming out. Will Magpies versus Crispies get streamed? Starts at 9:30. I'm not going to be able to stream it. I haven't actually gotten in contact with anybody else because I think most of the players that could stream are here tonight. Hold on a minute. Put a pause to that. Levy with a beautiful takeaway from Turg and converting, just running it in, keeping it simple. You know, you don't want to miss anything here at this stage of the game.
I also think that is Levy's first goal of the series, if I'm not mistaken.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's been playing back the whole game. You know, being the goaltender plus the player that passes upfield, just like that, structuring some of those offensive plays. But yes, going back to the Magpies vs. Crispies game, I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know if it was on tonight. So I've got some plans. You know, I've got to go get some dinner out. So I don't actually know if anybody is able to stream that. So maybe just ping that streamer role somewhere and see if you can get that organized. But for the moment here, 40 seconds left to go. 2-1. Sydney Gafs taking this one back here. Boppy with Joycey in the middle of the field. Turk pressuring. Does get the puck back, going over to Joycey. He's been pretty lethal here tonight. A very strong option for them. Ended moving this one upfield. Shot a little bit too wide. Ends up with Turg taking this one. Pushing up, 15 seconds left to go until we take a little bit of a break in play here. Passing around boards over to Boppy. Has to go back. No mistakes here. Capping off the first period with a stronger performance than how Sydney Gafs ended up in the last game.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree, to be honest, because we haven't seen Sydney Gafs fire back this strong yet. Because Melbourne Marshys started off with the first goal, and now they're up 2-1. So they're honest. I feel like it seems a lot more composed this game. It's not one-sided at all this first period as well. So I feel like this game here alone is anyone's. It could go either way.
Levy here with it. Looking to try and push past to Zemix. Does find him. Levy once again trying to go for some of those wider plays over to Ended. Boppy with it now. Pass over to Turg. Might be able to find Joyce. He actually shot on goals. Levy with a big save. That is very, very important, putting up a defensive performance like that. Ended. Moving upfield. Takes a shot on goals. Goes a bit wide. Misses the net and ends up with Turg taking charge of this one in the back play. Once again, Turg getting it for another attempt. Ended. Good takeaway here. Gets some possession. Might be looking for a pass over to Zemix. Cross. Not able to find anyone though. Levy going for Zemix once more. He's been a star player here tonight for the Sydney Gafs. Pass over to Zemix again. Not able to find the net. Ended. Caught back down behind goals. Pass over to Zemix. One more shot. Turg. Beautiful save there. Standing in the way of that one. And once again, Ended competing with Turg back down behind the net. Zemix with some good pressure, forcing more players to come into the defense here for Melbourne Marshys. Something interesting that I've noticed is that the Sydney Gafs are playing a lot more in Melbourne Marshys' end of the rink here in this period. You know, if you remember in the first game, they were all compressed up into their own end. They were all playing defensively right in front of their own goals and really just letting Melbourne Marshys get away with all of the passing plays that they wanted to try and pull off. But now, I feel like you see where they are. They're actually forcing them back down. Boppy!
Oh my. What a pass from Turg as well. Finding him out just through the gap and gets it to Boppy, and Boppy with a simple shot off gets the job done. 2-2, and we are closer than ever.
My goodness, just as I talk about playing in one end of the field, Boppy and Turg take it on their own end and turn it into an attacking play in an instant. No need to work it up the field. The passing line was ready. Everything was ready for them. They were set up for it beautifully. And if that pass was on, I dare say that they might have gone in for another one there. Boppy with it right now, looking to try and get it out. Z-Mix with it. Moving it up. Levy is a passing line. Can't find him. Ends it with Turg. Pass over to Joyce. Boppy is upfield, ready and waiting. Goes for the shot himself. A little bit too wide. Beautifully set up in front of goals there by Joyce, but no one was on the line there for it. Ends up with Z-Mix. 2-2. There's a lot of twos at the moment in the top left corner for just a split second. 2-2, 2:22 into the second period, so you know, you don't see that very often. Levy with it right now, looking to go ahead and find a line over to Z-Mix. He's the most open player at the moment. Ends up going to Joyce. Ended, sorry. Turg with it right now. Can't find anything. Joyce pushing up. Turg into center field. Usually the back player for Melbourne Marshys here. But once again, I just wanted to be well noted that Boppy can play back if he needs to. There's a lot of rotations available for them, but it seems that Turg staying back is what they are opting for. It's been a consistent formula.
No.
Whoa, there's a little bit close there for Gafs. A little bit of a miscommunication. Yeah. Ends it with Levy, though. Lucky for them, no points were turned over. Z-Mix. Pass over to Ended. Down to Levy. Boppy with it in the middle of the field. Can't let him get some open space.
What a move.
Because look at what he does with just a slither of a line.
This miscommunication again. I think the nerves are kicking in maybe a bit too much. Levy and Zemix getting tangled up there, and then Boppy just being able to get around them both and get the shot off. Perfect shot. Threaded it perfectly. Could not have done it any better.
It's moments like those that really kill off the motivation for Sydney Gafs here.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree with that point. Hopefully we can see them
Oh no!
That is devastating to
Oh,
see.
no.
We hope this game was coming back, and then that could have just been the deal breaker.
Yeah, I think that last goal from Melbourne Marshys, even though there's a whole nother period left before the end of this point, might have been the nail in the coffin. Zemix looking to try and score. Hold on a minute. Commentators curse for a second here.
Hold on.
Hold the phone. Every time we write off Sydney Gafs, they show a little bit of determination. They show a potential comeback.
I reckon if we just talk trash about them this whole last game, we might see a game 5. I'm going to be completely honest.
It's a very good experiment. I've had the commentator's curse kick in more times than not. So we'll see if we can trash talk the Sydney Gafs back into shape here. Turg with it. Looking to try and get a shot. Does find Joycey, but just barely missing that one there.
See, I feel like after that one, they looked a lot more hungry. They looked like they wanted a lot more. Like they're keeping possession. Even that one play they had, it was good chances. Levy. Connor looking for Zen. Zemix looking in the middle. Oh!
That could have been a golden point there for Sydney Gafs. That could have been beautiful.
I feel like this last period, it's do or die right now for Sydney Gafs. They need this game, otherwise we're seeing a 3-0 sweep by Melbourne Marshys. And it's not what we want at this stage. We know Sydney Gafs have it in them. Can they just dig deep down and bring this back with a reverse sweep, maybe?
I've got a thought in my mind at the moment, and I don't want to say it because of commentators' curse. But it'd be an absolute shame if what I'm thinking here does come to fruition. Let's just hope that I am wrong, and we'll see what happens later.
Yes, no, I think I know what you mean. I think I know exactly what you're talking about, but
yeah,
let's steer away from that just in case.
Yeah. Let's not mention it. Let's not mention it. Levy here in the back, going over to Zemix, trying to find a good line there. Not able to make it happen though. Boppy might be able to find Turg. No good touches from the Sydney Gafs here. Again, those strong bumps from Boppy. We talked about it a little bit ago, but the controller bumps, crazy to deal with. The shot almost on point as well. Goes a little bit wide. Ended. Looking for a line over to Zemix. No shot on goals. Turg, what a beautiful save. I don't think anyone was ready for that. How Turg managed to save it, a mystery to me.
Yeah, wow. I feel like we're seeing Sydney Gafs now. Oh my god.
Oh, you just had to say something. Oh my goodness. Beautiful play from the Melbourne Marshys, of course. Beautiful play. But at the same time, as you were saying, Sydney Gafs, they were starting to look a little bit better. They were starting to look a little bit, excited, hungry for the players.
They look like, I was about to say, they're not giving up without a fight.
Well, every time we write them off, they'll come back in. All right, that's a pattern that we've seen here tonight. Can they keep it up? Next 3 minutes and 30 seconds are absolutely crucial here for the Sydney Gafs, though. They're on the back foot. This is just about potentially their last period of the season. It's very much a do or die moment. They've got to score 2 goals, even it up. Actually score 3 in order to get the lead here tonight. OT's not enough. Levy here with it. Trying to self-pass off boards, but ends up with Boppy going back down to Turg. Looking to try and force their way through. Finds Boppy. Zemix does manage to get a good touch on it. And ends up with Levy in the back play. Boppy pressuring. Levy just trying to keep control of this here and now. Goes over to Ended. Zemix is up. Can't find him though. Joycey putting on a lot of pressure. Pass over to Zemix from Joycey actually. Levy. Pass to Zemix again. Trying to score. Can't find the net though. Turgan Ended competing on boards. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to go.
Back at that time, yet again, Levy looking for a line to find someone, find anyone. Boppy taking it away, shot, it was a little bit too wide. Very lucky for Sydney Gafs here, 3-5. 2 minutes for 2 points, can it be done? Plenty of time here for them to work their way across the court, and Enders scoring. Hold on, I'm at 4-5. 2 minutes to score 1 point here for Sydney Gafs.
I have a little bit of hope left in my heart. I don't want to get excited too soon, but I hope that they can just hold on.
Sydney Gafs have potential. Ended with the shot, just barely missing. Turg with it right now. Ended, putting on more pressure. Might be looking for a Zemix pass. Taken well there by Boppy. Looking to go upfield here. Goes to Joycey. Turg center field. Can't find the pass. Still putting the pressure on Ended right now. 1:30 on the clock. Time is ticking for Sydney Gafs. Joycey trying to push through there. But the defense from Sydney Gafs coming in clutch here. Zemix with it. Still a chance. Tries to take the shot himself. Turg back down behind his own net. Ended. Trying to wrap around the net. They're not able to find anything. And Boppy just barely missing the net. Again, another chance for Sydney Gafs here. 1 minute left to go. If they can get this puck away and up to the other end of the field, this final series might not be out of their clutches quite yet. 60 seconds. Zemix to Ended. Does find him. Pass back around on boards to Zemix. Levy in the back. Looking to find Ended. Can he get around Boppy? Some good pressure. Ended having to take this one back. Boppy still marking that puck. Pass back over to Joycey. 40 seconds left to go. Another shot goes straight from the Melbourne Marshys here. 1 point to Melbourne Marshys, and they will ice this one out. Both in this game and in the series here. A single goal for them is all they need to finish this one off. But Levy, Ended, and Zemix here for Sydney Gafs, trying their absolute hardest to score one and even it up. 20 seconds left to go. Boppy with it, racing up the field, trying to ice this one off. 15 seconds. Don't have a lot of time. One final play. Zemix in the back. Has to go upfield, has to run it himself. Pass over to Levy. Can they find Ended? Goes back down around behind goals. 3 seconds left to go, and the clear for Melbourne Marshys ices this one off.
Well, it looked like they were having, they had a chance back in it. They had the last possession, and then Boppy just seemed to get it away and dumped it all the way down. And my heart, I'm not going to lie, my heart sunk a little. They looked so strong coming back into it, and that own goal came back to bite them. And, they're not going to be happy about it, and I know that result is not something they're going to be proud of, but from our standpoint, it definitely, the games got closer and closer, and it got more entertaining by the minute. So
yeah,
I feel like they ended very, very strong. And even though they didn't finish as the winners, they definitely should be proud of how they the journey they took to get here.
Yeah,
first place this season, they were undefeated, but yeah, just not enough to get them through to win this grand final. And we have the sweep by Marshys.
Yep. Clean sweep once again. Yet another season in a row with that clean sweep. I do unfortunately want to say that what I was thinking came to fruition.
Yeah,
that own goal making the difference.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
that hurts.
It's devastating, to be honest, because I feel like Sydney Gafs really showed what team they were in those final minutes, but it just was such a shame that they were down and then they couldn't crawl back.
Very unfortunate for the Sydney Gafs there. Very, very unfortunate.
Congrats to their whole team for getting there. They have such good individual talent, and it looks like Melbourne Marshys are in general chat.
Yep, we'll bring them in just a second here. I do want to mention from the stats, though, that the passes, I didn't notice this in-game, but the passes from Sydney Gafs improved significantly. Other than a scoreline and shot conversion, this is the first time that I've seen a stat swing in the favor of Sydney Gafs by a lot. It's 81 to 53 passes, which is a crazy high amount. A lot of team play from them. But all in all, good games to both teams there. Sydney Gafs, not gonna lie, not the strongest performance in the first two games, but that last one there, they really put on everything that they had on offer here tonight.
Yeah, I feel like those stats really don't show how close these games were, because like the stats, like they look so close, and for that to just end 3-0 to Melbourne Marshys, it just doesn't feel right. But it's congratulations to Melbourne Marshys as well. They finish off this season with a bang, and Boppy with how many champions now? He's up there.
He's up there. He's up there.
Now.
All right.
He's now on to his 5th Pro Champions.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, let's
Still
go.
no more runner-ups than me, but
Yeah. We'll go ahead and bring in the Melbourne Marshys now. Let's see here. Boppy, we've got Joycey, and we've got Turg.
Yo.
Welcome, boys. Strong games played by you guys here tonight, especially in that first one. Jesus. What was it? 8-0 by the end of it.
Yeah, I think they got a couple. I think it was like 8-2, but it was a good showing from the boys.
Yeah.
But, it was hard, man. It's so tiring playing Gafs. They're so good.
They are very, very good. The first game didn't really show up, but going into the second and third, they really put on their talents on the display. They did very, very well going into those 2 games, so very proud of them.
That second game where we were down 4-0, I was kind of already ready to write that game off, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, you brought it back in the end. You brought it back.
Yeah,
So-
no, that was crazy.
Yeah.
It was a good game.
It was very, very good stuff. So just how proud are you of the boys, I guess?
Mate, it feels awesome. We did it last season. Had to go for the back-to-back. It was a little scary considering that we lost to Gafs both times we played them in the season. We did have a couple of interesting things during those games in the season. I think one of them I was like blind drunk.
Yeah, the first time we versed them, you were just drunk off your mind.
But
When we lost, Bobby's like, it's alright, we'll get him next time. I was drunk. It's alright, it's alright.
but
I'm guessing that the second game was the OT, yeah? Then in that
Second
case?
game, I wasn't even there. My Wi-Fi just was non-existent, so I couldn't play.
we had Nick as a super sub, which was crazy. But that one we lost no to.
Okay.
And then it was nice when we got the boys back together. We were a little scared going into it because certainly myself, I've been a little washed recently, but nice to get some of the rust off and put a good performance together with the boys. The goats, Joycey and Turg. I love my boys.
Oh my, stop it. Making me blush.
And I do have to shout out my 2 biggest fans all the way in Melbourne, Noah and Melinda. Thank you guys. I know you're big fans.
Shout out PFC. He DM'd me before the first game started. He's saying he has a fortune teller horse and it predicted us winning. And he won.
Yeah, strong
Shout out
stuff.
PFC and his horse, on God. Shout out Kobe while we're at it.
Shout out Forge. It's my guy right there.
Oh, yeah,
Even though he
shout out
choked his
Forge.
final. Big shout out. I gotta shout out Jilly because last time I didn't shout him out and he racially abused me for about 10 minutes in DMs. So shout out Jilly.
Shout out Earl. Beautiful
True.
picture in general. Have a look at, boys.
And honestly,
understand.
it's a win for OSL as well because this is now more pucks that can be donated back into the community. So keep an eye out for events. We've got awards night coming up. I think there's going to be a Slaptage coming up.
Oh, yes, actually. Very, very, very good idea. Shout out Slaptage. I forgot to do it at the end of the last stream, so I'm just going to get it in now while I've got the chance. Shout out to Slaptage.
Yeah, it's an exciting event. We love it. We love watching the montages people could put together. So it'd be nice to donate some of the pucks to that prize pool. And yeah, can't wait to run it back next season with my 2 sexy teammates, man.
Oh my God.
So it's confirmed then Melbourne
After
Marshys for
party
another
Sydney.
season?
I think so, although under a different name. I think we'll probably go back to Thomas Shelby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell
But,
yeah, bring that back.
I think we will be. I think we will be running it back. Try and get the 3-peat.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have one question to ask for you guys, just for the newer players coming into the scene, because we can see obviously we've had a lot of new players come in. Do you have any tips for them just to get to this stage? Like, what did you guys do just leading up to it to get this outcome? Like, do you have
Cut
any
off
tips for those young?
all your friends. stop going to work, grind the practice range, grind pubs, grind RPugs, talk shit on everyone.
Yeah, I'm on 1,700 hours, and I finally won my second season. After 1,700 hours.
I don't know. No, it's you just gotta play heaps, and
Yeah.
and that's really the way you gotta. Once you get hooked on like the competitive spirit of the game, I feel like you can't put it down. So it can be hard when there's no one in pubs, but you know, you spam at pubs in general enough in this Discord, and people will start hopping in there, and people are always down to play. So, yeah, I think it's just you just got to grind, get that dog in you.
Tune into Chimos Thursdays as well.
Yeah,
of course.
Whenever that happens.
No, well, I love that advice. I definitely, agree that time and putting in the time and effort really gets to the player, and the outcome that you guys showed tonight. But I feel like, what do you guys think as a team? Is it a way to go controller or keyboard and mouse for people starting off?
Well, I think it's whatever you're most comfortable with.
I reckon try both.
Yeah, give both a try. For me, controller was way more intuitive because I played heaps of Rocket League and stuff. But I mean, these guys both love the KBM, so I think it's just whatever you're feeling.
Yeah, I've been an FPS gamer, so I'm good with the mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good to see.
Good with my fingers, Bobby. Wink, wink.
Oh my God! You'll show me later tonight.
Okay.
Sorry.
We might drag you guys out now.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for streaming. Commentary team.
Shout out Kawami, beautiful stream as always.
Oh, stop it, you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
GG's, boys.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
GG's. All right. Let's get them out of here. One line and that was it. All right.
I feel like they got a bit carried away, but you love to see the energy from them, just knowing that, like, even the team chemistry they have together, just being able to talk about anything, it's what you love to see, because it's not just built on skill, it's built on friendships as well. And the community we have here definitely is a good one to see. So,
yeah, I'm just seeing if we can get the Sydney Gafs in for an interview as well. But you know, who knows whether they're around or not.
I wouldn't be surprised if they opt straight off and then gone to bed, or just taking their anger out on the gym, maybe, because I know Semix and Levy are into that. So
yeah, it is a Sunday night as well. It does look like that we have Ended coming in at the very least. Oh, hold on, here's Zemex. We might be able to get the full squad in. I'll start dragging them in now. If they want to move, that is. I cannot seem to drag Ended in.
I cannot either. I'm trying as well.
Oh,
there he is.
There we go. There he is. Welcome, boys. Welcome.
How are you?
A bit of an unfortunate loss there, but you know the boys still put out their best foot. Took it down to a very, very close third game there, and even a lead in the second. So, very strong performance in those last two games. How are the boys feeling? I can obviously tell there's a little bit of disappointment going around, but
yeah, you can only imagine. I mean, it's probably the worst finals I've ever played. Like, as a personal performance, I'm gonna say that was probably the worst I've ever played. But the boys, we still played up to standard. We were all having our off days. Like, yeah, you can tell we were just not feeling it with the puck. We're still getting some passes off and stuff like that, but you know, we couldn't show Gafs play style tonight. Like, you've obviously seen how we play. We just couldn't. Just couldn't.
Yeah. I feel like you guys shouldn't beat yourselves up too much, because the place, like, the effort you guys put in to get to this place alone is such an amazing effort, and we know you guys are made of gold, and like, you guys are such a good team together, and it's great to see you in the grand finals. And at the end there in game 3, you guys were looking so strong, just couldn't get the result, which is really devastating. But yeah, I don't think you guys should end this season on a low, but you should definitely think of what it took to get here. So you guys have done well throughout this whole season, and I think you should leave with that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Go back into the next season stronger than ever.
Exactly. Like, I mean, just take a look at the past games throughout the whole regular season. You didn't lose once. Yeah. That's an insane record right there.
Yeah, but we're looking to bring that into the playoffs, but I don't know. I honestly feel like I'm cursed. Like, I can't do it. No. I can't do it.
Dude.
No, dude, you can. You've got it in you. You've got that beast in you. You've got that dog,
I don't know what to do. I don't want to, like... I'm not showing you my true emotion right now because if I could, I'd be swearing so much. But I'm just saying right now, like, I'm actually so fed up. Like, it is what it is.
Just wait till 6 runner-ups, bro. You'll get there. You'll get there.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to take that away from you guys. But yeah, obviously it's devastating to get second place, and yeah, the sweep isn't good to see. But I know you guys can come so much stronger back next season, and you guys are such a good team, and I can't wait to see you guys play again next season.
Yeah.
Even in our pugs this morning, your passing plays and everything were looking so good.
Yeah.
But it just sucks that we couldn't see it in full form tonight. But you guys did really, really well. Gave them a good challenge in that final game, especially. But yeah, take it, and we improve for next season.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Fine. I appreciate the stream, obviously, as always. Appreciate the casting. Obviously, no stream. There would be no stream without you, so I appreciate that as well.
Oh, thanks, boss. No,
I love you, Ended.
Yeah, love you too, man.
Send the love to Zemix and Levy. You guys are goats.
Shout out Gafs, my first team.
That's it. You got it. It's the hometown.
Yeah.
All
right. Thanks for coming in for the interview, mate.
No worries. Take care.
All right.
Take care, man. Have a good one.
Take care. Don't beat yourself up too much.
We'll see how that goes. Oh, no.
Take it out on the gym, man.
Yeah, take it out of the gym.
I got to, bro. Heartbreaking,
bro. Go right now, bro.
God. Honestly, bro. Hang on. I might actually, best session I've ever had. Best gym session ever.
Just hit PBs. Do the supersets.
But either I'm hitting my max or I'm not coming home. Simple as that.
Or you'll be stuck with the barbell on top of you. You'll be.
That's it. Alright, appreciate that, boys. Take care.
Have a good one, man.
No worries, Wills. No worries.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that about does it, doesn't it? That's all the interviews done. I don't think that we're going to see the rest of the Gafs come in. Just ended here tonight. But yeah, good games from both Sydney Gafs and Melbourne Marshys. Obviously, Gafs a little bit disappointed with their performance, but not a season to look down on. Very, very strong for the most part. Just a little blemish right at the end there. One night, one bad day for all of the team members. And yeah, it's unfortunate for them, but still, congratulations to Melbourne Marshys. Their squad going for yet another year of pro championships. Looking to take it home. Well, not another year, but another season, I keep calling them seasons from other sports. Seasons and years, But
yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I get confusion as well, but...
Either way, Gafs will look to make up for it next season, and Melbourne Marshys, under the name of Thomas Shoby, probably will be trying to go for a third season straight, so...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I feel like, their name has definitely proven themselves, and they've written themselves in the history books as one of the best teams in history. Although they haven't won a championship yet, I can guarantee it's going to come in a few seasons.
Yeah, their time will come. It will come, and I have the feeling it's going to be soon.
Exactly.
All right. Well, ladies and gents, with that, I'll go ahead and wrap up the stream in just a second. But one more time, I want to shout out the event that we've got going on pretty soon, the Slaptage. Make sure to go ahead and submit your best montages of Slapshot clips from the regular season and the just pubs in general, I'm pretty sure. I think that's part of the rules. So go ahead and check that out. 145,000 pucks prize, says Forge in the chat there. So, a lot to be won with that. A lot to be won. And also shout out the awards night, which I don't think we have a date for. Probably should have asked Boppy when he was in the VC. But just keep your eyes peeled for that in the announcements. I'm sure that we'll see something in the next coming days regarding that. Any closing statements, shout outs, Cooper, that you want to give, or...
No, honestly, I feel like this season in the Pro League has been very, very interesting for most people to watch, and especially playing in it myself. It's really tough to see that a 3-0 sweep had to go like this, because we know this team's a lot stronger, and we've seen them play so much better, but I feel like the end result shouldn't represent the team itself, because we know, how good they really are, but playing in it, we see it for firsthand, how good these players really are, and how good it is to see, and just versing everyone, it's a real good community to be able to stay close with. But it's always interesting. So hopefully next season we can come back stronger than ever.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on to the commentary here with me tonight, Cooper. It's been an absolute fantastic time here with you watching this game.
Yeah, cheers for having me.
No worries, King. No worries. And with that being said and done, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up the stream here. Thank you to everybody that came by and watched this fantastic grand final. I believe that there might be somebody streaming the open game that's coming up pretty soon at like 9:30-ish. I know I won't be able to cover it, so we'll see if somebody can go ahead and cover that game there. But yep, thank you to everybody for coming through. And one last thing I'm going to say, chat was right. Melbourne Marshys did win the poll, and they won tonight. And I'll see you all probably next season, I believe, because I won't be able to stream the preliminary tomorrow night.
Slapshot? Stuff, or is that done by Spiral Forge or something, I'm guessing?
I believe it's going to be done by Spiral Forge. I might come onto it. I'm not entirely too sure yet, but we'll see what happens with that, depending on, when it's scheduled for and whatnot. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that, and I will see everyone probably next season. Peace out.
Peace.